Om Namah Shivaya. This is the observation of a 70-year-old geologist who happened to do parikrama around Mount Kailash, the abode of Lord Shiv and Manasarovar Lake. These two locations are in Tibet under the control of China. The whole parikrama route, if you see, around Mount Kailash is along the broad valleys, broad U-shaped valleys. The slopes are very gently, the valley slopes are gently sloping down, and the valley width also is very broad. Such valleys can be formed only by glaciers, gigantic glaciers, very wide, very thick glaciers that existed in the past. Now they are all vanished, and only the landforms, that U-shaped valleys, can be seen. They exist now, giving the evidence for the glaciers. The glaciers, we don't know why they vanished, maybe global warming or something, but only the landforms now they are left. Yatris, they go along the valleys, glacial valleys, they are actually called glacial valleys, and do the parikrama. You can see here also the tributary glaciers, the main glacier, broad valleys, the tributary glacier that is coming sideways from the right also U-shaped. So this is a typical glaciatal landform. Then the Dolma Pass, it is actually like a water divide. It is not called water divide, it's a glacial divide. On either side you get valleys, broad valleys, U-shaped valleys of this highest peak, Dolma Peak. Now there are some glacial lakes, and the valleys, after coming, we did the parikrama in the clockwise direction. After coming down from the Dolma Pass also, the valleys, broad valleys, and the yatris walk along the valleys only, or ride on the ponies along the valleys only. These valleys are all glacial valleys, and you can see some streams they are flowing, and actually the streams, they are very narrow. They come from high peaks, that melting of ice in the mountain top. They are called misfit streams because the valley is very wide, but the streams are very narrow. There is another glacial evidence, very interesting, is drumlins. These drumlins are very smooth egg-shaped hills formed by glaciers, gigantic glaciers, very big glaciers, drumlins. And in fact, these glaciologists, they find the direction of movement of glaciers also by studying the slopes of the drumlins. There are a number of drumlins in this area, a number of U-shaped valleys, all glaciers, gigantic glaciers. Now, the drumlins are, you can see, very smooth and egg-shaped. And one side is steep and another side is very gentle. Normally, the gentle side, the scientists think it is the direction of movement of glaciers. And thickness of the glaciers must be very high, maybe hundreds of meters, and width also kilometers together, and length, very gigantic glaciers. Now, Manasarovar Lake, if you go to Manasarovar Lake, the glacial valleys, broad glacial valleys, they come and end in the Manasarovar Lake. But now the glaciers have gone, even water is not there. There is no stream along the valleys also. Probably the ice cap, it is retreating very fast, yielding only little amount of water. So glaciers have gone, water also gone. So the lake is shrinking. The Manasarovar Lake is drastically shrinking, exposing vast lake bed. You can see very vast stretches of lake bed that are exposed because of shrinking of the Manasarovar Lake. Water entering into the lake also, it is very limited. And I don't know how, maybe after a few hundreds of years, the lake may vanish like glaciers. The lake can vanish like it can also vanish. Now, the Chinese authorities now they are constructing civil works on the lake bed. Actually, this is a the sacred location, but they are constructing it. Now, in this one, you can see in the center Kailash mountain, on the backside of the Manasarovar lake. Manasarovar lake, you can see that Kailash mountain, and construction activities on the exposed river lake bed. Now, Kailash mountain, very interesting. It is made up of massive sandstones, and other sedimentary rocks, which are resting one over the other without any disturbance. They are not deformed. They are not deformed. Whereas the surrounding mountains of Mount Kailash are shattered to pieces, fractured, shattered, faulted, folded. Kailash mountain is massive and very stable mountain, not deformed with the sedimentary rocks which are not disturbed at all. So probably Lord Shiv, he was residing on Kailash mountain, a stable platform, and performed that Rudra Dandava that shattered the rocks in the mountains surrounding the Mount Kailash. See, these are all shattered mountains we can see. In the center black mountain is Mount Kailash, and not disturbed. The sedimentary rocks are not at all disturbed. And you can see the beddings which are all horizontal, whereas the mountains on either side, you can see, and also on all sides, they're all shattered, fractured, faulted, folded, so terribly deformed. So Lord Shiv is dancing on Mount Kailash, Rudra Tandava, and that effect is felt on the surrounding mountains. Now, this is the vision of a geologist